Okay, so everyone find yourself in a tall feeling, supported feeling seat. I don't really care what your legs look like. If you're on a chair, I might recommend not crossing at the ankles or at the knees. If you're on the floor and sitting on the floor doesn't feel awesome, or you feel like you're curved, or if you don't know what I'm talking about, like if your tail feels like it's coming in, like if your pelvis was a bowl, the water would spill out in the back, I might suggest putting a block or two underneath the buttocks and try to find that place where you feel like the bowl is spilling forward, if that makes sense. And then roll your shoulders a couple times. Next time your shoulders are down, keep them down. Keep your elbows bent, hands are resting, maybe on the floor, knees, one hand on the belly, one hand on the chest is a good idea. Anything that makes you feel most comfortable. And then let your gaze go forward and slightly down. Take your chin down and back like you're pushing it into a wall behind you. And look for a feeling of length all the way from your tail through your crown. Good. And then pick something ahead of you that's not moving. Lock your attention on that spot. And then without moving your eyeballs around, soften the muscles around your eyes and your jaw and your mouth. You can let your eyelids close halfway or all the way. And mentally separate yourself from what you were doing so you can come fully now into what you are doing. And we'll start with grounding and centering. So without moving your eyes or opening or shutting your eyes, just keeping your gaze as it is where it is. Notice everything that you can see in your field of vision. And remember, you don't have to label every object. Just notice generalities like shapes and colors first. Let distractions be what they are, where they are. I didn't want to grab some stuff, we just got started. Notice movement and let that pass and come back to notice generalities in your field of vision. And do the same with lights and shadows. Notice where you see bright patches, dark patches, or any moving shadows or lights in your field of vision. Notice in your mind's eye where the doors and the windows are in relation to your body. Notice where the other people are in relation to your body. Notice all the noises in the space besides my voice. And remind yourself you're going to hear a lot of noises. Someone sneezing, we're right next to the firehouse. You might hear a fire truck alarm go off in the middle of class. Every time you notice a distraction like a noise or a thought or a sensation in the body, label it as what it is. That's a thought, that's a noise, that's a sensation, and then draw your attention back to your body as often as possible. You'll do it 1,000 times in the next hour. That's normal. And then bring attention just to your own personal bubble of space. Use your spidey sense to get an idea of what's immediately behind you and what's to the sides of your body. Notice what's right in front of your body. Notice where air is touching your skin versus where clothing is covering your skin. Notice the pressure of your body on your chair or on the floor. And notice your spine again. And if you change the position of your spine or you lost your posture, just gently bring yourself back to that tall feeling. Draw your belly and your pelvis in and up for support. Pinch your shoulders behind you a little bit for more support in the upper part of your spine. Chin down and back. Long, long feeling. And settle your awareness on your breathing body. Don't change your breath yet, just notice it coming in and out. Notice what it feels like to breathe today. Is it kind of choppy or kind of smooth? Does it feel quick or slow? Does it feel deep or more shallow? And then if you wish, you can bring a little intention into your breath by drawing it in lower and deeper into your belly than you normally do. And as you exhale, preferably through the nose, let the air escape a little bit longer and slower than normal. Just half a beat or a beat longer. It doesn't have to double in length, but for some bodies that feels natural. So do what feels good to you. Deeper, lower inhales than normal. Maybe if your hand is there, you feel your belly expand and push against your hand. And as you exhale, a little bit of constriction in the throat to allow the air come out slower. You can count, or you can just be aware. Use the tools that work for you. Still looking for length in the spine. Gaze is softening even more. Notice if your mind is going to judgment about the breath, how it's behaving, whether that's good or bad. Bring yourself back to just characterizing. What does it feel like? Not your interpretation of those feelings. Two or three more rounds like that. Biggest, fullest breaths you can possibly manage. It doesn't have to feel good. Just notice what it does feel like. Good. Now finish the round that you're on. And return back to your normal passive breath. And be aware of any sensations that are left over so far. Notice your shesha. That means echo or remainder, the leftover thing. Might be in your body or your breath, or it might be in the way your mind is working. Maybe there's nothing. Just be aware of that. And next time you inhale, open your eyes if you haven't already. Take in the room again. It might look a little different. The lights might look different. That's normal. Keep looking for that tall spine. Readjust your legs if you need to so your toes don't fall asleep or so you stay as comfortable as possible. Remember, pain is a distraction and it's not something you need to push through. So any adjustments that need to happen, just do them. You never need my permission. And another reminder, especially for the new people in the room, everything's optional. So if this is your yoga, if you just sit and stay and breathe, I want that for you. But I'll keep giving options now for the next hour. And if you want to do something I'm not saying, do it. As long as you don't bother me or your neighbor, you're good to go. Make the practice work for you today, okay? So inhale, look for a lot of length all the way from the tail to the crown. Exhale, just let your right ear come towards your right shoulder. Shoulders stay down and heavy. You might reach away with the left hand, elbow bent, elbow long, palm up or down. You might do something else. Take 2 breaths here and just notice any sensations in this part of your body. Soften your gaze. I always need a million reminders to smooth out my eyebrows. Unclench your hands, unclench your feet. And then when you're ready, inhale through the center and exhale to the other side. Try what you did on the other side here, but remember, we're not forcing the 2 sides to be identical. We're just doing the same practice on each side and noticing the differences. At your own cadence, when you inhale, come back through the center. This time, exhale, look to the right. So turn your whole face to the right side of the room and pretend there's a marker on the tip of your nose and draw little circles or big circles above your shoulder. If you're drawing them, go one direction a few times and then pause and go the other direction too. But keep your breath moving in and out, whether you're still or moving. Now is a good time to switch directions if you haven't. Belly in and up for support. Inhale all the way back to the center. And then exhale carefully to the other side. Move slower than you think you should or than you normally do. Mirror what you did on the other side here, noticing the difference. If you're moving, go the other direction too. And then when you're ready, belly in and up, inhale back to the center. Exhale, tuck your chin down towards your chest, but keep your spine tall and keep that slight pinch in the shoulders behind you to keep your chest broad. And you might stay still or you might draw your chin over to one shoulder and then back down through the center and towards the other side too. Couple breaths here. If you're moving, move slowly. Maybe one more to each side. And when you're ready, come down to the center so your spine is still tall and your chin is still tucked. And place your fingertips on the back of your skull. Don't push, it's just the contact that creates the extra sensation. Good. Now, option to draw your elbows together as close as they can in front of your face. Stay here, and now in the beginning we breathed big into the belly. Now breathe big into the top of your back and your shoulders and under your armpits. Act like your belly can't expand and all the breath has to stay up in this top half of you. Keep drawing the shoulders down and away from your ears. Keep drawing the elbows closer together. Another huge breath just in the top half of your chest here. Next time you breathe in, look forward, elbows open out to the sides, release your fingertips to the sky for that goalpost shape, and maybe one at a time, swim the shoulders down and away so you can really pinch them together behind you like you're cracking a walnut between your shoulder blades. Now imagine there's a line down through the center of your torso. Let the elbows come in front of the line and the thumbs point back behind the line. Good. Next time you inhale, really squeeze everything together as far as you can back behind you. Elbows can come down a little bit, that's okay. And then exhale, bring your hands together in front of you. Fingertips all touching, palms touching. If the elbows can touch, let them touch. Whatever's touching, squeeze everything towards that center line. And remember that your shoulders aren't where your arms start. They start in the center of the chest. So pull all the way through to the heart center. Now push more with the right side. Soft face, keep breathing. Push more with the left side. And then push evenly, squeeze as tight as you can, all the way from the fingertips to the center of the chest. Soft face, relax your eyebrows, breathe deeply. Good choices. Keep pulling everything in towards the center, even if it's just in your mind. Inhale, lift everything up in space. Maybe your eyeballs follow your fingertips. Exhale, round your spine like a turtle. Draw the elbows down towards the belly button. Head gets heavy. Good. Two more like that. Squeezing everything into the center. Shaking and heat is normal. Inhaling to lift and exhaling to lower. Keep your neck long. So even if you come into your back bend and you look up, imagine lifting the back of your head up off your shoulders. And as you come down, imagine leading with the crown of your head, not with the nose dipping forward. The crown of the head is tipping forward also. Good. Inhale back to the center. Open your arms out to a big T shape. Push through the palms. Pull your fingertips back. And then carefully place your fingertips down by your sides. Good. And if you're in a chair, lean over a little bit. See if you can easily reach your blocks. If not, move them so you have something underneath your fingertips on either side. Good. Okay, 6 final actions. We're going to do forward and back, side, side, twisty, twisty. All 6. Okay, so inhale, get even taller through the crown of your head. Exhale to stay with as much length as you can muster. Good. Hands on your knees. Inhale, chest pulls forward, gaze goes forward and maybe up. Exhale, round your spine even bigger than you did last time, like someone's pulling your shoulders back behind you. You can reach your hands forward. Nose looks down towards the floor. Back and forth now. Let your pelvis tilt with you. So when you inhale and come forward, let your tail poke out behind you. Maybe squeeze your shoulders towards your hips. On your exhale, tuck your tail, round the shoulders big time, and look down. Go back and forth at your own pace. Maybe 3 or 4 more. Take your time. If you want to stay somewhere for a breath or 2, you always have that option. If you want to wiggle side to side or do something other, you always have that option too. Last round, back and forth. And then meet me in a neutral spine. Length between the tail and the crown, shoulders are down, soften your face, and let your hands come down by your sides now to those blocks or to the floor. And identify your right arm in your mind. You can give it a wiggle if you want. And inhale, bring your arm either out to the side or up overhead. If it comes up overhead, also lift the shoulder girdle up towards the ears, but keep your head stacked on top of your spine. So like don't push your head over, squeeze the bicep in towards the midline. Good, yeah. Inhale, lift up even higher. Exhale, lean over until your left fingertips can push down. Some bodies come to the palm. Some bodies have a long elbow. Some bend it. Some reach really far away. I don't care. But imagine opening your heart to the front of the room, even if you lean over less. Glue your hips down into the floor and create as big of a rounded C shape in the side of your body as you can manage. You can even take your arm out of the equation, put it behind your back, and you can still get that huge rounded feeling. Breathe big into the sides of your ribs. It might feel uncomfortable, like you're stretching the ribs apart. That's because you are. The intercostals are all weaved together like a basket. Breathe in so big, you force the basket to kind of open a little bit. Good. Brace through the core to come up. Inhale all the way back to center. Exhale, let your arm come down. Take a breath in between. Compare the 2 sides. And then we'll do the other side. So inhale, left arm out or up, whatever you did on the other side. Maybe you try it here. Glue yourself down from the hips down. Inhale, lift up higher. Exhale, big round shape. Let the arm underneath you support you. Unless you want to work really hard today, you can always increase the intensity by removing the bracing from whatever's underneath you. Softer face, deeper breathing, bigger rounded shape. Good. Brace through your core. Inhale, come up all the way. Exhale, let your arms come down. Take a breath in between. Notice what's left over. Good. Inhale, bring your arms out to a T shape. And you can bend your elbows and do like an Egyptian if you want. Or you can, again, really work hard. Reach through the fingertips, Barbie hands, squeeze your fingertips together even so there's no space in between. It's totally up to you. Inhale, reach through the crown of your head. Exhale, twist to the right. So remember, we're not pulling the arms back to make us twist further. If you feel like you're doing that, maybe look at your back hand, see if it's where you thought it would be. Look at your opposite hand. Good. If you want, you can look over your back shoulder. For the last breath, you can let the arms come down for support, but not to pull you over farther. Inhale, back to the center. Exhale, arms come down. Take a breath in between. Notice what's left over, if anything. Other side. Inhale, reach all the way out from the center of your chest. And exhale, twist. So keep your nose in line with your heart at first. Arms pulling out from the center of the chest, not just from the shoulders. And then maybe you look over the back shoulder. Maybe you adjust your hands a little bit, or you drop the arms to help hold you in place, but not to pull. Last breath here. Belly in and up for support. Inhale, come all the way back to the center. Reach, reach, reach. And then exhale, let the arms come down. Big breath in between. Fill yourself up like a glass of water, bottom to top. And then exhale, top to bottom. Good. Okay, if you're on the floor and you are okay coming onto hands and knees, do that now. Come onto tabletop. If you're in your chair, scoot more forward towards the edge of your seat. I'm going to show both versions today since we have folks seated and on the floor. So since we had a request to do some low back pain adjustments, we're going to focus on strength and stability in the low core and the low spine. We know through studies at the VA and elsewhere that and PT, really bracing through the core, especially through the psoas and the low abdomen, and creating strength and stability in the hips and the low spine is what eventually leads to back pain relief and even less opioid use in the VA study. It's really, if you're going to do one thing, do this every day, okay? So arms are coming right out of your shoulders, knees are coming right out of your hips. Whatever's on the ground or in your chair, push down. So be mindful if you're on hands and knees, if you're dumping into the shoulders, I'll exaggerate it, but if you're doing this, right, you're pushing the floor away, even rounding a little bit between the shoulders, and the back of your head is pushing back. So you're looking down and slightly forward. Now pull your belly in and up. Identify your right arm and identify your left foot. Good. Next time you breathe in, right arm reaches forward, fingertips come down, or hover it at shoulder height. Keep breathing. Next time you inhale, left foot reaches out, kick through the heel, and either put the toes down or bring it to hip height, not above, not below. Head is neutral, chin tucked down and back. Pull your belly organs in, up towards your spine. Reach further through the fingertips, reach further through the heel. Another inhale, reach out of both limbs. Exhale with as much grace as possible, bring everything back to neutral. You can do a cat-cow here, or you can stay in neutral and let everything come back to normal. Good. Other side, I'll show you seated now. So push into what's in the floor. If your hands are on your knees, push your hands into your thighs. Belly in and up, chin down and back. Really long spine from your tail to the crown of your head before you even start. Good. And then identify the opposite hand and foot. Next time you inhale, arm reaches out. You can put the fingertips down or you can squeeze the fingertips together, reach straight out of the shoulder socket. Next time you breathe in, maybe you do the same with the leg. Push through the heel, pull your toes back towards your body. You can set the foot down for support or you can lift it up and hover. Push through the heel, not the toe. Pull the toes back towards your shin or towards the floor. Belly in and up for more support. Another big round of breath here. Neck is long, face is soft. And very carefully bring everything back to neutral. Maybe a cat-cow here again. Good. And then come back to a neutral, tall spine. Let your knees widen so they're maybe as wide as your mat or at least wider than your hips are. Untuck your toes so the shoelace part of your feet are down on the floor. And then let your hips go back towards your feet. Hands can come down onto the floor. Some bodies like elbows down and they like to cradle their head. Some bodies like to put 2 fists under the forehead. Some bodies like to come all the way down so the forehead touches the ground. Whatever's touching down, let it be heavier. Breathe big now into the back of your body as you compress the front. Fill up with your lungs in the back. And remember, your lungs physically are bigger in the back. So see if you can explore the full volume of your lungs, even though you're smushed in the front. 2 more big breaths like that. Next time you breathe in, come all the way back to neutral. Hands and knees underneath you. Since we're all on the floor today, let's try something new. We're going to try a little bit more of a balancing technique, okay? And it's also crossbody, so it's really good for your brain too. So we're going to come into it the same way as we did last time. So right hand forward, left foot back. This time, when you inhale, lift both up to shoulder and hip height. Either stay here and be as still as you can, or bend your knee so your foot is reaching up towards the floor, and swim your arm back to try to capture the foot or the pants. It's okay if you have to twist a little bit to grab it. If you can grab your foot, see if you can wrap your hand around to the pinky toe side. So you're grabbing the top of the foot and the palm is facing out. If you've grabbed your foot and you feel pretty secure, which I know is relative, kick your foot into your hand so your leg lifts up higher. Let your chest lift, gaze can go a little forward. Twisted kitten. Another big inhale here. Exhale to stay. Inhale, unravel, reach everything out from the center, and then exhale, bring everything back underneath you. Sit back, do a cat-cow, anything in neutral, as long as the body's doing the same thing on both sides. Take a breath. Inhale, back to hands and knees. Let's try the other side. So opposite hand and foot are out away from the center. Remember, the foundation needs to be secure before you move, so don't just pull yourself into it. Belly in and up, lift up out of your shoulder, chin down and back, and then without moving anything else, lift maybe the leg and or the arm. Maybe you hover. This is good. Make your face still, unclench your jaw, unfurl your eyebrows. Maybe you bend your knee. Maybe you reach your arm back. Maybe they get closer together. If you grab your foot, maybe you can reach the pinky toe side. Next time you breathe in, push into the foot. Trust your fingertips to let your arm reach back behind you. So you're probably feeling more in the pec of the extended arm. Let your gaze go forward so you don't feel like tipping down like a teapot. On your next inhale, unwind, reach everything out from the center first, and then exhale, put everything back underneath you. Cat-cow, maybe come to another wisdom pose, knees open, booty back, head and chest come down. Give yourself 2 or 3 breaths here. Just notice what's left over. And what's left over might be a story about how you did and what that means about you. Let the story float by. It's a cloud in the sky. Focus on the sky. Last breath here. Good. Inhale yourself back to hands and knees. And now we're going to come to stand. So remember, lots of ways to come up. If you're working on your squat, you might walk your hands back towards your feet, tuck under your toes. and rock yourself onto your feet, and then you can work on your balance and lifting yourself up. Or you can hang onto your chair, swing the opposite leg ahead, and then use the arm and the foot to push yourself up, and then you can wobble as you come up. Good. Come to the front of your mat or the front of your chair. Scoot forward to the edge of your seat so you have room. We're going to do our half sun salutations now. Good. Stop all of a sudden and look down at your feet. See if they're where you thought they would be. And don't move them unless you feel wobbly. If you feel wobbly, then you might take a slightly wider stance. Some bodies too, it can be a little helpful just to keep the feet where they are, but turn the toes more out at an angle. Good. Now suction cup your feet to the floor like an octopus. Good. Strengthen all the muscles in the legs all the way up. Strengthen your glutes, belly in and up, shoulders down and back, head is forward, arms are down. Good. Gently tilt your palms forward. Pick a spot ahead of you that's not moving where you can focus your gaze. This is your mountain pose, Tadasana. Imagine that the peak of the mountain is right above the top of your head and the sides come down your arms, past your fingertips, and connect with the floor out there to the sides of your body. Good. Now keep this grounded, heavy, tall feeling. And as you inhale next time, reach your arms around and up. If you want, your gaze can go up with your fingertips. And stay here for a moment. Imagine your belly button is the center of you. Get heavier from the belly button down. Push your feet into the ground. You might even bend your knees a little bit like you're on a diving board. And from the waist up, imagine getting longer. If your shoulders are reaching up, let them come up so far that they squeeze towards your earlobes. Reach past your fingertips. Lift your eyebrows, lift your eyeballs. Not long neck, deep breath. Stay for one more inhale. Exhale, fold from the hips. So let your belly and your chest come to your thighs, bend your knees way more. You can either put elbows on your knees and cradle your head, or you can let the arms dangle and the head dangle. Rock your weight back into your heels more. Toes just for decoration. Shake your head yes a little bit. Like a bowling ball in a string. So heavy, not using your neck at all. Yeah. Shake your head no a little bit. Good. Next time you breathe in, come only halfway up. So let your arms slide up your legs somewhere. Reach through the crown of your head, belly organs in and up. Squeeze your shoulders back onto your back. Stay for a breath. Inhale, get even longer. Exhale, fold forward again. Bend your knees as much as you need. Good. Inhale, come all the way back up. So reach your arms around or in front of you until they touch at the top. Exhale, hands come down through the center towards your chest. If you get lightheaded, tuck your chin and squeeze it down towards your chest. Good. Let's do 3 more faster now. Follow your own breath. You all know what you're doing. Remember, you can't really do it wrong. If you're moving with your breath, you're doing flow yoga. So just keep moving with the inhales and exhales. I'll do a couple. I'll guide you through one, and then I'll let you do it at your own pace after that. Okay? Inhale, reach around and up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift, toes lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, around and up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Continue at your own pace. Maybe you add a back bend. Maybe you move faster or slower. Maybe you're not moving at all. Those are all good choices. Even though you're folding and moving, look for length in your spine the whole time. Focus less on what it looks like and more on what it feels like. Take a break at any time. If you're going at my pace, there's 2 more. Notice if your body likes to move faster or slower than you're breathing. See if you can match them up as close as possible without giving yourself a hard time if it's not perfect. you're done, be done. If you're still moving, take your time. We'll all meet back in our mountain pose. Weight more in your heels. Suction cup your feet to the ground. Constrict all the muscles in your legs. Lift your kneecaps, squeeze your buttocks, pelvis in and up, shoulders down and back, arms out by your sides. Gazing forward. Smooth out your eyebrows. Unclench your jaw. Notice what's left over. Elongate your breath again. Good. Okay, let's do our warrior poses like we did last week. Okay, we're only going to do, let's just do one asymmetrically on each side since we have some back issues in the room today. And in general, just remember that when you're practicing at home, if you have low back issues or if it's acting finicky, don't do a ton of the, okay, I'm going to do warrior true, and then I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to do this, and all. Just do one on each side and then something neutral in the middle. Maybe again, one on each side and then something symmetrical, okay? Give your back a break. So let's just do one and come back to neutral and see if it helps you notice anything in the low back on each side. Make sense? If you're in your chair, sit sideways so your right thigh and buttock are on your seat, yeah? Everyone else, if you're standing, right leg is gonna be your forward standing leg, okay? So come to stand or sit with both feet even to start. Good. Chest is proud, belly in and up, shoulders are down. Pick something ahead of you to stare at and don't let your gaze move. It'll help you stay upright and forward if you're gazing upright and forward. Okay, now take the weight out of your left foot. For the baby makers in the room, don't hold the baby when we do this, okay? So take the weight out of your left foot and keep your hip in line with your knee and your ankle. Push down hard into your big toe. Push down hard into your heel. Use the other toes for balance. If you fall, fine. Just fall and come back into it. Good. Okay. Now a bunch of little steps or one big step. Take your left foot way back behind you and bend your front knee. At first, stay up on the big toe of the back foot and lift your heel up as high as you can off the ground. Hips are both pointed forward. Your chest is forward. Your gaze is forward. Good. Look down at your front knee. See if you can still see your toes beyond it. And if not, either back out a little bit and or squeeze the buttock and the hip so the right knee tracks out more towards the pinky toe. Good. Now, gaze forward again and notice your balance. If you feel like you're on a balance beam, like you're really rocky side to side, you might take the right foot more to the right. So you're more on railroad tracks. The feet don't have to be in one line. Good. Okay. Once you've got your foundation, then you can drop the back heel. So the back toes are pointed to the long edge of your mat. Front toes are pointed to the front edge of your mat. So it's like an L when you look down. Yeah, good. Front knee is bent. Hips are going to open to the side a little bit more. You can either hang on to your chair, hands could be at your hips, or you can inhale and open your arms to that big T shape. Warrior two. Gaze goes over your front middle finger and then past it. Arms are coming out from the center of your chest. Everyone take your fingers to the center of your chest and then open your arms again like wings and see if they're where you thought they would be. Push down from the waist down. Get lighter from your tail to your crown. Shoulders are down. Maybe you walk like an Egyptian. Soften your face. One more big breath. Okay, we're going to come out in the opposite way we came in. So come onto the back toes. Shift your weight forward so you're in your high lunge again. And then a bunch of little steps or one big step. Bring yourself back to the front of your mat. Or if you're on your chair, scoot over so you're sitting both cheeks on the chair. Good. And notice what's left over here. Just from that simple couple breaths in one posture. Notice what's left over in the leg that was forward and the leg that was back behind you. Notice both sets of feet. Notice your breath, notice your temperature, notice your face, notice the stories. Good. Other side. So if you're on your chair, turn the other way. So your left hip and buttock are on the seat. Everyone else is standing. So your left foot is going to be the forward foot this time. Take the weight out of your right foot without letting your hip get misaligned with the knee and the ankle. Everything's strong, pushing down from the waist down, lifting up from the waist up. Gaze is forward, face is soft, shoulders are down. Then you can move. And then a bunch of little steps or one big step. Take the right foot back behind you and leave the toes down on the ground at first with the heel lifted up as high as you can get it. Good. Notice your balance. Do you need to adjust side to side? Notice if you can see your front toes. Maybe back out or get deeper. Adjust to make the posture work for you. Good. Remember, if the gaze is lifted and forward, it'll help you stay lifted. Then when you're ready, you can let the back heel come down, open your back toes to the long edge of your mat, front toes are to the short edge of the mat. So when you look down, you see kind of like an L shape. So keep that front foot forward. Back toes are going to turn out to the side. Yes, perfect. Front knee is bent. Sink down from the waist down. Back leg is as long and strong as you can make it. Push hard into the pinky toe edge of that foot. Like I couldn't slide a credit card in there if I wanted to. Tall from the waist up. Maybe you're hanging onto your chair or your hips, or maybe you open your arms out to the side. Again, like wings, they should come right out of the center of your chest. So put your fingertips at the center of the chest and then unfurl and open your wings. Right? We're not reaching them back behind us to make us broader. Chest should be towards the side. Hips are a little open to the side. Maybe your gaze goes over your front middle finger and then past it. Sthira and sukha, steadiness and ease in everything that we do. Find something that's working really hard in your body and ask it to work 10% less. Maybe that means you back out a little bit. Find something that's not working at all. See if you can engage it even just with your attention. Heaviness from the waist down, lightness from the waist up, equal and opposite actions, and equality in the mind. All at the same time. It's easy. Just do it. Take it 10% less serious. It's just yoga. Last big breath here. Take up as much space as you can. And then carefully roll back onto the back toes. So you're back in your high lunge. Hands can come back to your chest or your hips or your chair. And then as gracefully as you can, come back to neutral. Step forward on your mat or turn so you're on your chair, seated forward. Good. Yeah. Roll your shoulders down away from your ears again. See if you can find stillness, scan your body again, and notice what is left over on that side. Good. Come back down to either a seat on your chair or on the floor. If it helps you decide, we're not going to get back up. So if you want to come to the floor, now's a good time. But if you want to stay on the chair, you can absolutely do that. And make sure your strap is handy, whatever you choose. Got it? Everyone have a strap? Good. Okay, so at first, we're not going to lay down yet. Stay on your buttocks. Put your feet flat on the floor with the knees bent. We're going to keep focusing on the core and the low spine through the rest of class, but we're going to do both and then come down and start to cool down, okay? Good. Okay. So let your gaze come forward. Some bodies like to put hands on the tops of the knees. For me, it makes me feel a little rounded still because I'm just sort of short that way. So I'm going to put my hands behind my knees and thighs, You can grab onto your pants, just do what you have to do. You could even grab your strap and wrap it around your knees so your arms can be more by your sides, especially a good idea if you have shoulder injuries and any kind of pulling forward feels irritating to that injury, okay? So gaze ahead and push your toes into the ground, pull your belly in and up towards your low spine, squeeze your shoulders behind you so you feel longer in the top half of your spine, and then tuck your chin down and back. Good. Now start to lean your torso back as one big piece. It's like you're the Tin Man and you need oil, right? Like really stiff and strong and straight. Lean back until you feel like you can start to release weight from the toes and the feet. So your gaze isn't going to stay forward at the natural horizon. It's going to go up a little bit so that your head and neck can stay in line with the rest of your spine. Maybe you stay here. Maybe you identify your right foot. Inhale, lift it. And exhale, lower it. Try to move nothing else. Inhale, left foot. Exhale, lower. Keep going side to side. You can do both feet at one time. You can hold. You can pulse. You can straighten your legs. You could keep them separated. You can squeeze your legs together. You can let go with your hands. You can row the boat. Whatever you choose, keep a soft face and keep your breath moving in and out. It doesn't have to be super deep, but keep breathing. Notice where you're working really hard. Soften that by 10%. Notice where you're not working at all and recruit that to be part of the experience. Last round of breath. Gracefully put your feet back down. Maybe separate your feet a little bit. Round spine. Let your belly be really soft. Head gets heavy. Curl in like a ball. Give yourself a break. Breathe really big into the back of your body again. Inhale back to a tall spine, and then with or without support, come all the way down onto your backside. So you could just walk your hands back and lay down. If you want one more piece of like harder effort, you can let go of your legs and you can slowly roll down 1 inch at a time, as controlled and still as possible, with a soft face and a soft mind and breath moving in and out equally. Good luck. When you are finally down on the ground, be done for a moment. Let everything be heavy. Extend your legs and your arms out on the floor. Let your head be heavy. Open your eyes fully. Stop doing yoga. Maybe you stare at something on the ceiling. Breathe normally. Do nothing. And just notice what it's like to do nothing, to not try. And then re-engage with your yoga mind. Soften your face. Soften your awareness and your attention. Notice the mental shift. Notice your breath again. Notice the weight of your body on the floor. Notice your whole system. Identify your right leg and bring your right knee back for a hug. You can use your arms, you can grab your pants, or you can use that strap again. The left leg can be long, or you can put the left foot on the floor and bend that knee as well. Really use the strength of your arms or the strap to squeeze the right knee in towards the right side of your belly and chest. Shoulders are back, hips are back, head is back and heavy. Roll your right ankle, go one direction a few times. And then go the other direction too. Switch your grip, so you're holding onto the back side of the right thigh. And then on your inhale, lift that right foot up towards the sky as high as you can. Push through the heel. Pull your toes back towards your body. Knee can stay bent. Push your right hip down into the ground more. Head and shoulders are back. Belly pulling in, back, low back pushing down into the ground. Hold that engaged feeling in the low body and the core, but let go with your hands and see if you can keep your leg exactly where it was. And now as slowly as you can manage, 1 inch at a time, still pushing through the heel and pulling the toes back, lower your leg until it's all the way down on the ground. Really take your time with it. Keep breathing. Notice where it gets difficult and try not to speed through it. Try to resist gravity. It doesn't have to be easy. You just have to try. No amount of effort on the path of yoga is wasted. When your leg does touch the ground, release it completely. Let all the muscles go. If your legs are in different positions, put them in the same position now so you can compare the two sides. And just breathe and notice what's left over. Good. Other side. Bring your left knee back for a hug. Use your strap or your hands or your pants. Right foot can be on the ground, knee bent, or you can elongate that leg as well. It's up to you. Squeeze your knee towards your belly and or your chest. Shoulders are back, face is soft, gaze is ahead. Smooth out your forehead, unclench your jaw. Just use the strength in your fingers and your hands to do the pulling. Relax your shoulders and your neck. Maybe roll your ankle one direction and then the other. Now is a good time to switch. And then come to stillness. Switch your grip so it's just behind the thigh or hanging onto the sides of your pants. So you can inhale and reach that foot out away from your body as strong and long as you can. Push through the heel, pull your toes back towards your body. Use your strap or the fingers. And then start to really engage with everything. Push more through the heel. Squeeze your muscles on your leg so your kneecap lifts up towards your hip. Pull your belly organs in and down towards your spine. Push your low back into the floor. And then let go with your hands and see if you can keep your leg exactly where it was. It's okay if it shakes and moves a lot. Stay for another breath. And then take as long as you can manage to lower your leg all the way back down to meet the other one. Keep looking for length the whole time. Notice where it gets difficult on this side. It might be the same range of motion. It might be a little different. Try not to speed through the hard part. Delay it just 1 second more each time. Keep breathing. It doesn't have to be super deep. Smooth out your forehead, unclench your jaw. And when your leg does touch down, release it completely and let both sides of the body look the same. So both legs long or both legs bent. Notice what's left over. Take another big breath here. Good. Last pose of the day. Bring both knees back for a hug. You can use your strap. You can hang on to your knees. If bringing the knees straight back towards your belly feels weird, especially if you ate this morning, you might want to open the knees out towards the armpits more instead. That's totally acceptable. You can do something I didn't mention. Stillness, or some bodies like to rock side to side or forward and back. Move in any way that feels natural or necessary or just good. If you're moving, start to come to stillness and symmetry again. And then one at a time, put your feet back on the floor and then elongate your legs on your mat. Let your arms come down by your sides with the palms facing up, unless you like to put a palm on your belly and a palm on your chest or do something I didn't mention. Head and shoulders and neck and hips are all down and back and in line. You might want to readjust your shoulders or take off your glasses or shift something to get even more comfortable. Pick something on the ceiling where you can stare or close your eyes halfway or all the way, your choice, and you can change your mind at any time. During your integration pose, I'll offer a short guided body scan meditation as normal, but as usual, this is optional, just like everything else. If you'd rather take a nap or just focus on your breath, or if you have a prayer or an affirmation you've been working with, now is a really good time to include that in your practice if you wish. But if you want to follow along with me, bring all of your attention and awareness just to the tips of your toes. And notice what's there or not there without any judgment. And then notice the bottoms of your feet. Notice the tops of your feet. Notice your ankles. Notice your lower legs. Notice your knees. Notice your upper legs. Notice your hips. Notice your buttocks. Notice your pelvis. Notice your belly. Notice your low back. Notice the sides of your waist. Notice your upper back. Notice your chest. Notice your shoulders. Notice your upper arms. Notice your elbows. Notice your lower arms. Notice your wrists. Notice backs of your hands. Notice palms of your hands. Notice all of your fingertips. Notice spaces between your fingertips. Notice the front of your throat. Notice the back of your neck. Notice the back of your head. Notice the top of your head. Notice your forehead, your temples, your ears, your cheeks. Notice your jaw, your chin, your lips, your teeth, your tongue. Notice your nose, right eyelid, left eyelid, right eyebrow, left eyebrow. Notice the space between your eyebrows. Now that you've scanned your body one piece at a time, take a step back in your mind and notice your whole system together as one big piece. Good. Now let go of that. Notice the weight of your body on the floor. Notice your breath without changing it. Carefully start to wiggle your fingers and your toes to let your body wake back up. You can roll your wrists and your ankles, bend your knees, maybe bring your knees in towards your body. I'd encourage you to not sit yet. Stay low and slow and careful. Half attention on your body, half attention on your breath. Before you get up to sit, see in your mind which way you would get up normally by default. And I might challenge you to try to get up the other way. When you're ready, let's meet in a seated position. It doesn't really matter what the seat ends up looking like. Legs can be long or crossed. You can sit in a chair or on the ground. Either way, really the only goal is to look for a feeling of support and length all the way from your tail to your crown again. So that might mean rolling your shoulders down again, sitting on a block, whatever. And then once you have that tall feeling, again, let your gaze go forward and down, chin tucked down and back, soft face, even breathing. I'll invite you to bring your hands together, either in a prayer-like position with your thumbs touching the center of your chest, or you can stack your hands here, whatever's more comfortable. And look down or bow down towards your heart in your hands. This motion is in gratitude of yourself. So as best you can, give yourself a sincere thank you just for carving out the time and showing up. Everything else was just practice. And remember, you have a body, but you're not just your body. You have a mind, but you're not just your thoughts. And you have emotions, but you're not just your feelings. When you're ready, your hands can come down. Let your eyes flutter open and up. Class is over.
Oh, wonderful.
Thank you all. Thanks for coming. I'll turn off the recording, and then if you have any questions or concerns, of course, tell me now or email me later. I'd be happy to talk to you about anything. And be safe on your flight also.
Yeah.
Thanks, everyone.